Sharon's been through enough, and we don't want to see her with another big heaping helping of guilt on her plate, especially for trying to help someone. But that appears to be exactly where Young and Restless is heading with the current storyline. After the ordeal in the abandoned mental clinic, Sharon is slowly regaining some traction in life, but it isn't going to be easy. As the blonde barista and corporate CEO admits to Phillies in upcoming scenes, she's still suffering from nightmares and wrestling with the emotions left behind in the wake of their kidnapping. One thing that haunts them both is that they have no idea who took them captive to experiment on them like lab rats. As viewers well know, it's not likely they'd ever guess the identity of the culprit. They believe it's someone who knows them and their history very well, given that the riddles in the game during captivity focused on the details of their past beefs. Instead, it's someone who only had limited knowledge of Sharon and didn't know Phillies at all. The other person in the dark about Alan is his fiancée, Tracy, but she's already sensing something is terribly off-kilter with her dream man. It all started when his phone began blowing up with notifications about a clinic breach. The author saw the messages when he was in the shower, and though he was able to brush it under the carpet, her nephew Kyle later triggered suspicions by mentioning that Sharon and Phillies had been held captive in an abandoned clinic. It was easy to disregard as a coincidence, until Tracy got a message from Alan saying he grabbed the last ticket on the last flight out to Paris that night. Considering they had planned to go together on the Abbott jet, it was downright bizarre. Although she didn't say a word, we got the impression that the combination of the messages, Kyle's anecdote, and Alan's urgency to get out of the United States left Tracy questioning everything. That brings us to the next logical, not to mention heartbreaking, twist. Young and Restless teasers indicate that Sharon will help Tracy connect the dots about Alan, which means the ladies are bound to come to the realization that he is the madman and freak who held her and Phillies captive, terrorized, and very nearly killed them. Unfortunately, this shocking realization will leave Tracy in extreme danger, mortal peril even, should she decide to confront Alan. We can see it now. She'll be determined to bring him to justice and will agree to be used as bait to lure him into an arrest, which is all fine and good if all goes according to plan. Unfortunately, as we know all too well, and as Phillies spelled out, this is a villain who puts the likes of Aunt Jordan and Ian Ward to shame. He's clever, he's cruel, and he's capable of absolutely anything. If we're lucky, he'll be apprehended, and we'll finally find out the truth about Alan/Martin. But if he manages to outwit the authorities, Tracy's very life could be on the line. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Pulse Canvas. It's me, Julie, here. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Keep watching. So let's dive into today's video. The Young and the Restless spoilers hint that Sally Spectra and Aristotle Dumas could have a surprise romance in the works. Billy Abbott's partnership could lead to trouble, so let's talk about how this might play out. It's easy to see that cracks are already starting to form in Billy and Sally's romance, especially now that he's deceiving her about his plans with Aristotle. Secrets and lies are what led to Sally and Adam Newman's relationship falling apart, so the same fate could be brewing for Sally and Billy. However, it's also interesting that Aristotle is being introduced to Billy and Sally's storyline. We can see the potential for a love quad that includes Philly Summers, since she's been pulling Billy in her direction lately. The closer Billy and Phillies get, the more likely it becomes that Sally will get a new love interest and a fresh romantic direction of her own. There's also been some Y and R buzz about a mysterious stranger landing in Sally's path down the road. Sally might strike up a conversation with someone at the bar without realizing he's Aristotle once he hits Genoa City. Of course, no one has seen a picture of Aristotle, and there's no confirmation on his exact age either. It's possible Aristotle is much younger than anyone realizes, or that he's got a son who's risen in the ranks to take his place by now. Aristotle Jr. could perhaps be coming to town, especially since Y&R's keeping a tight lid on the new character that Billy Flynn is playing. Whatever the case, Sally is suspicious of Aristotle and will make more predictions about the drama that's brewing. You can bet that Sally will dig for the whole truth about Billy and Aristotle's alliance soon enough. It'd be soapy if all this led to Sally's eventual romance with Aristotle, so maybe sparks will fly, particularly if Billy strays with Phillies and gives Sally a reason to turn elsewhere for comfort. The Young and the Restless spoilers say Billy's partnership with Aristotle could lead to more problems than he bargained for, so stay tuned for updates on all the shocking news to come. We'll have other exciting Young and the Restless spoilers, news and updates, so make us your #1 source. Y&R shocker, Chelsea and Adam rekindle their romance. Is this their final shot at love? Fans of the Young and the Restless are in for a wild ride next week, as one of Genoa City's most complicated love stories takes another dramatic turn. Chelsea Lawson and Adam Newman are back together again. But is this reunion different, or are they doomed to repeat the same heartbreak all over again? Chelsea and Adam have one of the most electrifying and turbulent relationships in Y&R history. From their intense passion to their devastating betrayals, their love story has been a roller coaster that fans can't look away from. Now, after years of breakups, reconciliations, and outside distractions, Chelsea and Adam are giving their romance another chance. But what's changed? Can Adam finally put his dark side behind him? Has Chelsea truly forgiven him for his past mistakes? According to next week's spoilers, their son Connor will be the catalyst that draws them back together. With Connor struggling emotionally, Chelsea and Adam will realize that they need to be a united front for the sake of their child. But will co-parenting lead to something deeper? Sources hint that an emotional moment between the two will reignite old feelings, and before they know it, they'll find themselves back in each other's arms. But is it real this time, or just nostalgia taking over? One person who won't be thrilled about this reunion, Sally Spectra. While Adam and Sally's relationship has been rocky, there's still undeniable chemistry between them. Could Chelsea's return to Adam's life push Sally to fight for him, or will she walk away for good? With Nick Newman also still in Sally's orbit, this could set the stage for another explosive love triangle. Will Adam be torn between his past and his present? Billy Abbott, who has had his own complicated history with Chelsea, won't be happy about this development either. He has always been protective of Chelsea and will likely warn her not to trust Adam again. But will Chelsea listen, or will her heart lead her right back into Adam's arms, regardless of the risks? While some fans are thrilled to see Chatham reunite, others are skeptical. After all, history has shown that these two have a habit of self-destructing. Can they finally break the cycle, or are they doomed to crash and burn again? One thing's for sure, next week on The Young and the Restless is going to be must-watch television. Will Chelsea and Adam find their happily ever after, or will their reunion end in heartbreak? Stay tuned. These two have a long history. Will their new leaf change things on Y&R? The Young and the Restless recap for Tuesday, March 25, sees Phillies and Sharon come to a conclusion about their path forward. Plus, Victor gives Lily details about Dumas and Damian, which she shares with Devin, while Billy returns a call to Dumas after Sally falls asleep. At Crimson Lights, Sharon and Phillies exchanged awkward small talk about being back and how brave their kids had been. Though they were safe, Phillies knew the trauma wasn't over. She deflected by questioning why Nick always needed to be a hero, but Sharon insisted they first discuss what had happened in the clinic. They recalled the nightmare they endured and realized that whoever was behind it knew them personally. Sharon admitted their relationship had been filled with anger and resentment, which Phillies outright called hate. When Sharon started explaining brain chemistry and ingrained behavior, Phillies rolled her eyes. Phillies admitted she still harbored hatred for Sharon and felt guilty about it. Sharon reassured her that no one expected her to erase those feelings instantly. Phyllis admitted her kids were worried about her. Sharon abruptly suggested they leave, and they went to the park. There, they reflected on their shared history, their rivalry, and the weight Nick carried because of their animosity. Sharon pointed out they were stepmothers to each other's children. Phyllis insisted they had agreed to act as if nothing had happened, but Sharon suggested that things between them could change. Phyllis eventually admitted their hatred had been epic, but Sharon encouraged her to focus on their kids instead. Though Phyllis claimed she liked her hatred, she reluctantly agreed to leave the past at the clinic baby steps. Meanwhile, at the ranch, Victor handed Lily a drink and revealed he had continued digging into Damian and Dumas. He warned her not to do business with Damian because Dumas controlled everything. Victor suspected Damian was infiltrating the Winters family for business leverage. He showed her proof that Damian had been gathering information on them months before they reached out to him. Later, Lily met Devin at Crimson Lights and relayed Victor's findings. She declared Damian couldn't be trusted, and Devin agreed. At Billy's, Sally urged him to return Dumas's calls, but he insisted they enjoy their meal first. As they ate, she asked why the mysterious mogul was reaching out to him. Billy told her that Dumas had expressed interest in Abbott Communications. When Sally noticed his hesitation, he reassured her. After dinner, Billy poured them wine and admitted Dumas had contacted him weeks ago. Billy admitted it felt good to have someone validate his struggles. Sally suspected Dumas's true intentions. She wondered why he was calling so late at night. Billy had no answer. After Sally fell asleep, Billy sneaked off and called Dumas back, assuring him everything was on track. Smirking, he added, "As far as that quid pro quo we discussed goes, I've got the quid if you've got the quo." For the Wednesday, March 26 episode of The Young and the Restless, spoilers photos show a stop by Crimson Lights could very well turn Tracy's world upside down. Jack and Nikki have much to catch up on, so they grab a table at Society to sit down and talk. While we see smiles and good cheer, there also seems to be some tension in the air. Will one of them say something that gives the other pause? Knowing these two best friends, it seems likely. Nikki isn't the only person to steal some time with Jack. He also heads to Crimson Lights to check in with Tracy. After her talk with Sharon, will she start to connect the dots? If so, she'll definitely need her brother's support. Sharon's story and those alerts on Alan's phone seem too much of a coincidence for anyone, especially Tracy, to ignore. As for Sharon, she'll join Nick, Summer, and Phyllis at the club for a meal for a few minutes. Does this mean Sharon and Phyllis are truly on the road to friendship? Or, at least, peace between them? Wouldn't that be something? They better enjoy it while it lasts, though. Nothing in Genoa City is forever. The March 25 episode of The Young and the Restless was all about Aristotle Dumas, the only man who, it would seem, can actually give Victor Newman a run for his money. Dumas reached out to Billy, seemingly looking to team up against Victor, while Victor told Lily how Dumas was connected to Damian and thus couldn't be trusted. But who is this mystery man? He can't be a total stranger, can he? He's got to be somebody from the past. After all, does anything happen in Genoa City if it's not about Victor? Victor thinks now, maybe we've already met Mr. Dumas, but we don't know it. Damian and Holden have both pretended to be somebody else in the few short weeks they've been around. So why not add another identity to either, or both? Maybe that's how they managed to get so much done. They're two men pretending to be one of their long list of aliases. Jack pulled the wool over Victor's eyes before, when he was the mystery buyer who snatched up the companies Victor thought he'd stolen from Jabot. What if he's been doing it for years? Or what if this is Diane's ultimate secret? She's been the power broker all along. Just because Aristotle Dumas sounds like a man's name doesn't necessarily mean that's who the ultimate puppet master is. What if it's a woman? one particular woman, as a matter of fact. What if it's Lori Brooks, the one woman who has outsmarted Victor over and over and over again, and she's back for another round? In a jaw-dropping revelation that could shake Genoa City to its core, The Young and the Restless is setting the stage for one of its most shocking paternity bombshells yet. Could Billy Abbott's entire life have been built on a lie? The secret that could destroy everything. Victor Newman and Jill Abbott are in full-blown panic mode as Billy starts digging into his past. The deeper he searches, the closer he gets to uncovering a truth they've desperately tried to keep buried. Aristotle may be his real biological father. Why are Victor and Jill so desperate to keep this hidden? Victor and Jill have never been the best of friends, but their mutual interest in keeping Billy in the dark has forged an uneasy alliance. What power does Aristotle hold over them? And why would the revelation of his paternity threaten the Newman and Abbott dynasties alike? Billy's investigation heats up. Billy has always had a rebellious streak, but this time, he's not just playing games, he's chasing the truth. With every clue he uncovers, the walls are closing in on Victor and Jill. Will he finally expose the decades-long deception, or will Victor and Jill take drastic action to stop him? What this means for Billy's identity and family. If Aristotle is truly Billy's father, what does this mean for his relationships with the Abbotts? Could this devastating news push Billy over the edge and into self-destruction? And how will Jack and Ashley react to the possibility that their brother may not be an Abbott at all? Brace yourself for the fallout. Genoa City is about to be rocked by a revelation that could change everything. Will Billy finally learn the truth, or will Victor and Jill succeed in keeping the secret buried? One thing is certain, this is a Young and the Restless twist you don't want to miss. In The Young and the Restless, love triangles are never simple, and the ongoing battle between Claire, Summer, and Kyle is proof that when emotions and ambitions collide, nothing is off limits. As tensions rise, a potential pregnancy could become the ultimate game changer, forcing everyone to confront feelings, loyalties, and the future of their intertwined lives. Could Claire's pregnancy be the key to breaking Summer's hold on Kyle once and for all? At the center of the drama is the complicated bond between Summer and Kyle. Their relationship has weathered many storms, and one thing tying them together is their shared responsibility for Harrison. As Harrison's adoptive mother, Summer has a firm place in Kyle's life, a position she uses to maintain influence over him. Despite their romantic ups and downs, her connection to the child has given her leverage, making it hard for Kyle to completely walk away. However, Claire is not willing to let Summer control the narrative. While Claire has genuine feelings for Kyle, she's no fool. She sees through Summer's attempts to use Harrison as a way to keep Kyle close. Claire is sharp, calculating, and increasingly aware that if she wants a lasting place in Kyle's life, she needs a more permanent bond. That's where the possibility of a pregnancy comes in. Rumors are swirling that Claire may be expecting Kyle's child, a twist that could alter the dynamics between all three. If Claire is pregnant, it could solidify her connection to Kyle and make it harder for Summer to keep her grip on him. For Claire, having Kyle's child is not just about love. It's a strategic move that could push Summer out of the picture entirely. After all, a biological tie is something Summer cannot compete with, no matter how close she is to Harrison. Yet, Summer isn't backing down without a fight. She knows that as Harrison's mother, she holds emotional power over Kyle. This bond not only keeps them connected, but also allows her to manipulate situations to her advantage. Summer believes that her position as the one raising Harrison gives her an unshakable hold on Kyle's heart. But Claire's potential pregnancy threatens to upend everything, creating a new connection that Summer cannot easily break. The situation grows even more complicated when Victor Newman, Harrison's grandfather, steps into the picture. Victor is deeply invested in his grandson's well-being, and has always believed that a united front between Summer and Kyle is best for the child. He doesn't hide his disapproval of Claire and remains convinced that Summer is the best partner for Kyle. If Claire's pregnancy comes to light, it could drive a wedge between Kyle and Victor, adding another layer of conflict to the already messy situation. For Claire, this is not just about winning Kyle's affection, it's about securing her future. Despite projecting confidence, her insecurities are starting to show. She understands that if Kyle chooses Summer, she could lose everything she's fought for. A child with Kyle might be the only way to protect her place in his life and keep Summer at bay. But even if she is pregnant, will that be enough to shift Kyle's heart permanently? The stakes couldn't be higher. Kyle is caught between two women who both hold significant pieces of his heart and life. On one hand, there's Summer, the woman he shares a long history with and who is raising his child. On the other, there's Claire, a woman who may be carrying his future. If Claire is indeed pregnant, Kyle will face the most difficult decision of his life. Does he choose the stability and history he shares with Summer, or does he embrace a new beginning with Claire? The rivalry between Summer and Claire is reaching a breaking point, and Kyle's choice will have lasting consequences for everyone involved. With emotions running high and secrets threatening to surface, the battle for Kyle's heart is far from over. Will a baby be the ultimate tie that binds Kyle to Claire, or will Summer find a way to keep him in her grasp? One thing is clear, in The Young and the Restless, love is never simple, and every decision carries a price. As the truth about Claire's possible pregnancy unfolds, the lives of Kyle, Summer, and Claire will be changed forever. Just 1 hour ago, devastating news hit The Young and the Restless community, leaving fans in utter disbelief. Whether you followed the show for years or just recently joined the drama in Genoa City, this latest development will leave you speechless. Sources close to the production have hinted at an unexpected departure that could change the landscape of Y and R forever. Could one of the show's beloved stars be saying a heartbreaking goodbye? Speculation is running wild, with whispers of a major character being written off in a shocking plot twist. Names like Braeden, Melody Thomas Scott, and even longtime fan favorites, such as Peter Bergman, have all been tossed into the rumor mill. Could one of these iconic actors be stepping away from the show for good? Adding fuel to the fire, industry insiders claim that tensions have been brewing behind the scenes. Could contract disputes or creative differences be to blame for this unexpected turn of events? Some believe a recent shift in the writing team may have led to sudden changes in the show's direction, changes that not everyone was prepared for. For some fans, the fear isn't just about a character leaving. It's about the real-life tragedies that sometimes strike the soap world. In the past, The Young and the Restless has mourned the heartbreaking losses of legends like Christoph St. John and Gene Cooper. Could today's news involve another painful goodbye? If this shocking development is confirmed, it will undoubtedly send shockwaves through Genoa City and leave fans reeling. Will the show recover from this major shakeup? Or is this just the beginning of a larger change that could reshape The Young and the Restless forever? As this breaking story unfolds, we'll keep you updated on all the latest developments. One thing is certain, Genoa City will never be the same again. Just go and have your cystoscopy, have your colonoscopy, have your heart checked out. Do all that, do it in time, The Young and the Restless star said. Braeden has a happy health update to share with his fans. The 83-year-old The Young and the Restless star told Entertainment Tonight that his health is still in good standing, after announcing that he was cancer-free in August 2023. My cancer diagnosis right now is on hold, as it were, and I'm very grateful for very good doctors and very good modern cancer treatment, which has improved enormously, Braeden said. He also encouraged people to get their annual health screenings, adding, "People shouldn't be afraid of it, you know. Just go and have your cystoscopy, have your colonoscopy, have your heart checked out. Do all that, do it in time." In April 2023, the veteran actor revealed in an emotional Facebook live session that doctors found high-grade cancer cells near his bladder after he experienced prostate issues while recuperating from a knee replacement surgery. At the time, he said he had been undergoing treatment for high-grade cells with a 6-week immunotherapy treatment plan, but let his fans know that he was planning to fight the cancer all the way. "This bastard ain't going to get me, I'm going to get it. I'll be in top form again soon," he promised. In May, Braeden spoke candidly with people about why he wanted to publicly share his diagnosis. 4 months later, he revealed during another Facebook Live that doctors were unable to find any cancerous cells in his bladder during his last cystoscopy. He told ET that it took some time for the news to sink in, and that despite the good news, it didn't mean that this is all over. "On the way home, I thought, keep on looking at it step by step. Don't anticipate the result. Don't look ahead. No, take it step by step," he recalled. Never miss a story. Sign up for People's free daily newsletter to stay up to date on the best of what People has to offer, from juicy celebrity news to compelling human interest stories. The soap opera star hasn't been alone when it comes to facing this difficult chapter. His young and the restless family and fans have been there to cheer him on throughout the challenging time. "It means everything," he told ET of the support he has received. "People have been awfully kind. Fans have been very kind. It means a lot." In the dim light of early morning, Lily found herself pacing in the quiet office, her mind a whirlwind of conflicting emotions. For weeks, she had been gathering evidence that, if revealed, could shatter leaves and upend long-held illusions. The truth was unbearable, but it was also necessary. She clenched a folder containing mysterious files and discreet notes that Victor had covertly provided during his own investigation, along with the results of her tireless personal research. This wasn't just gossip or idle speculation. It was a shocking revelation about Damian, and Lily knew that Nate deserved to know the truth before he was manipulated any further. Lily's internal struggle had been building over time. She had long trusted her own instincts, which told her that Damian was not the man he pretended to be. When whispers of deceit began circulating around their inner circle, she felt an ever-growing need to protect Nate, who had always been so trusting, perhaps to a fault. Damian and Amy, she realized with mounting horror, had orchestrated a web of secrets that preyed on Nate's vulnerability. They were masters of deception, weaving falsehoods so intricate that even those closest to them found it hard to discern fact from fiction. The day of reckoning arrived when Lily could no longer hold back her revelations. With a trembling hand, she dialed Nate's number, her voice a mix of urgency and sorrow. "Nate, I need to tell you something. It's about Damian and Amy," she began hesitantly, her tone laden with concern. "I found evidence. Proof that they've been deceiving you all along. I have something you need to see." Nate, who had long trusted the word of his friends and loved ones without reservation, listened intently, unaware that his world was about to be turned upside down. The mystery deepened as Lily described the enigmatic information that had come to light through both Victor's investigative tips and her own relentless pursuit of the truth. What she had uncovered painted a disturbing picture of Damian's true nature. "There's something you must know," Lily said softly, her voice breaking with emotion. "Damian isn't just a liar. He's part of a larger conspiracy that involves Amy too. They've been keeping a secret from you, Nate, and it goes much deeper than a simple betrayal." Costume designer Mandy Line is ecstatic to be working with this Y&R star. Mandy Line is the newest costume designer on The Young and the Restless. The designer/stylist joined the soap opera in November 2024. Although she's worked with many A-list celebs, she admits she was starstruck meeting this soap star. Line has an established career as a costume designer. She's most famous for her work on the primetime shows Pretty Little Liars, Shameless, and 90,210. She's also worked as a stylist for celebrities such as Mandy Moore and Kirsten Dunst. Now, she's bringing her talent to Y&R and dressing the characters of Genoa City. Although Line has never been starstruck working with her clientele, she was delighted to meet this Y&R star. Line is a Soap fan and grew up watching All My Children. Peter Bergman, who played Cliff on AMC and now Jack on Y&R, is one of her favorite actors. In an interview with Soap Opera Digest, the designer recalled her excitement seeing Bergman on the CBS set. "I'm gonna be honest. Jack Abbott, Peter Bergman. When I met him, all I could think was, that's Cliff. That is Cliff and Nina. Do I call my mom? What do I do? I've been waiting for this my whole life." When Line and Bergman finally met, she was filled with excitement. "There was this moment and this voice in my head that said, if you don't say it now, you're never going to say it. A lot of people play it cool. I am cool, I don't want to play it cool," she explained. "So I said, it's so nice to meet you. I'm really happy to be here as the costume designer for Young and Restless. But I need to let you know," and I said this to him, straight up, "I love you. I really love you. I don't know if you ever loved me back, but Cliff is someone that I grew up watching, and Cliff and Nina, and that story just broke my heart." He's probably heard the same thing before, but there was a little grin on his face, and he was like, "Wow, thank you." From the sounds of it, Line is already enjoying her time at Y&R and working with her favorite actor.